Hello, I'm Retro, and things said to be popular, and when they do, there's bound to be a sequel. Not because it's gonna be good for the series, but because it profits. I mean, heck, even I did that. Did it go so well? So when you have a game that has 2% of the world's population playing it, there's bound to be a sequel off of it. And that rests the case of Bejeweled 2.
Bejeweled 2 was created by Popcap after the major success of the first installment.
The game would be released on... Okay, well, let's see here.
The PC, the Wii, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Network, PlayStation Portable, Xbox 360, Palm OS, Windows Mobile, Symbian of 3, BlackBerry Playbook, Android, Plug and Play, Arcade Machine, and even cable, with some versions being released after the next installment. So why bother at that point?
Well, this game must have sold successfully because this game has been ported onto literally anything. The real question is, how do you make something based off of a really simple idea? Well, let's see.
You start the game with a menu screen with 4 different game modes: Classic, Action, Puzzle, and Endless. Like the first game, Classic is where you play until you run out of moves, and Action mode is where you play until you run out of time. But unlike the first game, Action mode doesn't shuffle the board when you run out of moves. Also unlike the first game, you have power-ups. Make a 4 of a kind, or a combined 3 of a kind, to get a bomb gem, where if matched, it clears gems surrounding it. Make a 5 of a kind, and you can get a hypercube. If you swap a gem beside it, it will get rid of that kind of gem. Hypercubes are a really valuable item to have. If you don't have any other moves left, you can use it to get rid of an entire gem type and to get more moves. Moving to the other game modes included, you have Endless mode, where it's like Classic mode, but you never run out of moves. It also has this cool level indicator. And then there's Puzzle mode, the most unique mode of them all. Your goal is to get rid of all the pieces on the board. You have 16 planets and 5 puzzles each. This is a great puzzle mode, but this hint button kinda spoils it all. I mean, you could beat the puzzles without any hints, but you could just cheat it all by spamming the hint button. Or, at least most of it. After beating puzzle mode, or supposedly beating it, you get to the credits, and what's this? A new game mode? Yes! There are 4 more game modes included into this game. Make it to level 18 in Classic mode, and it gives you a Twilight mode, where the gravity flips after every move. Reach level 9 in Action mode to get Hyper mode, where it's an even faster version of Action mode. You score more points by making really fast matches after the other. Beating all 80 puzzles in Puzzle mode gives you Cognita mode, where it's the Classic mode, but it uses the previous 80 puzzles, and beating the puzzles without undoing or a hint will fill the progress bar. Finally, making it to level 281 in Endless mode.
Yes, 281. I'm not joking. That would literally take you 11 whole days to do.
Reaching it gives you Infinity mode, where it's Action mode but the bar is slower, and in order to fill it is by using special gems. You also get backgrounds with a different hue color as a little bonus. With all that out of the way, there's still one more secret game mode, and it can be found by going clockwise around the game modes a few times, and you get Original mode, where it's like the first game. You don't have any power-ups. The music is more vibrant and soothing to listen to, which fits better to a tile matching game. And there are also secret codes that you can type in to change up the style of the game. I'll put a few codes in the description if you want to try them out.
Well, that's the computer version, but I want to talk about the other versions of Bejeweled 2 that I have around. Starting off with the Xbox 360 version.
The Xbox 360 version was bundled with a few other games into an Xbox Live Arcade pack, and then bundled into a PopCap Arcade pack, but it can also be bought for $5 on the Xbox Store. This version is in association with Oberon Media, and this performs smoothly. There's also a leaderboard for several of the game modes, showing you where you are and who's on the top. Hey, how did he get there? The major problem with this version is the controls. You have to keep moving the left joystick to move around, and once you make a match, it goes to the original peace area. There's nothing they can really do about the controls, but it's a problem that I have with this version, especially when it's a fast-paced game mode.
Well, that's the Xbox 360 version. Time to move on to the next version. The PlayStation 2 version. Now, this game was also bundled with another game, which is Astropop, also made by Popcap. I might review this another time, but for now, let's play Bejeweled 2.
Well, this game looks blurrier than the other two, but it still runs smoothly, unless if you explode multiple bombs at once. This version doesn't include the secret original mode, but this does include the extra backdrops that the others don't, along with a few behind-the-scenes images. Like, this is what they worked with back then. You have to use the D-pad to move around, which could be frustrating, but it's not as bad as the Xbox 360 version.
Finally, we get to the Wii version. Now, originally it was for the Wii Shop channel as a WiiWare game. However, that discontinued 2 years ago, so the only way to gain the game now is by hacking it, which I successfully did. Let's review.
This version is an association with Engine Software, and holy crap, that's me! This game mode runs faster than all the other versions, and the controls were better than the other console versions, depending on how good you are with motion controls. The problems that I have with this version is that there are only 4 game modes, and the odd thing that the same 2 songs loop once you beat a level. It's not bad songs, but it does get annoying after a little while. Of all the versions of Bejeweled 2 that I talked about, I think the PC is the best version of the bunch. There are a few advantages and disadvantages between versions, so it mostly depends on what you enjoy more in the games.
Well, that's it. The thing I learned is that this game was ported onto anything with a screen on it, and it was based off of another game that was really popular. This shows that anything popular can get a sequel off of it. And speaking of being popular, this game was successful enough to have a 3rd installment, along with a spin-off. So I'll talk about those in the meantime. For now, that's it, and I'll see you all then.